The person that you're shopping for might be very particular, and that might be a bummer if you really love picking out gifts, but then it just comes back to, do you want the joy of picking out a gift that, they might not use and they might end up getting rid of, or do you truly want to bless this person and get them something that they really need and are going to use for years to come? You're definitely going to hear my kids yelling in the background today, but I'm just going to get into it anyways. Hi, my name is Michaela. Welcome back to my channel. I talk about all things motherhood and how to not just survive it, but to actually find joy and find good things in your life. So I talk about my faith, I talk about creativity, minimalism, all that good stuff. Today is another minimalism video talking about how to shop for the minimalist in your life. Or maybe you are like me and you are a minimalist and people ask you, what do you want for Christmas, your birthday? People ask you what you want and you don't know how to answer. Your mind just goes completely blank. Hopefully this will give you some ideas of what to ask for if you're in that position. I just want to remind you that the cost of owning an item is more than the price that you pay for it at the store. Once you have an item, it takes up precious space in your home for the rest of however long you own it. I know people become minimalists for all different kinds of reasons, but the person you're buying for might really feel that tension of wanting to keep their space minimal and functional, and they don't want to devote space in their home to just anything. There's also the cost of maintaining that thing, cleaning it, cleaning around it, storing it, packing it up seasonally, whatever it might be. So even if you think you're doing a really kind and generous thing by giving someone a gift, remember that it's out of your hands once they've received it. Here's the number one rule when you're shopping for anyone in any stage of life for any occasion. Never tell them how to use the gift that you gave them, or follow up months later and say, oh, how's that thingamajig I gave you? Is it out on your shelf in the living room? Never do that. Once you give a gift, it's not yours anymore. It belongs to the other person, and that means they get to decide how they use it. The point of a gift is that it's no longer yours. It's intended to bless the other person. If you're giving them something that you're going to be really particular about, just keep it. Just don't give it to them. Anyways, into some gift ideas. Number one is something on their wish list. So yes, go ahead and ask, what would you like for Christmas? What would you like for your birthday? Be prepared. They might not have ideas. They might say money or a gift card or whatever, or they might have a very particular item that they want or list of items. That's something I've done. I have an Amazon wish list. I made my husband do the same thing, and I have one for each of the kids of items that are on our minds for them or for me, because if I'm going to let something into my life, even a toaster, I know that might seem really simple if you don't have a minimalist mindset, but I got my first toaster a year ago. It was a gift that I was very, very thankful for. But before that, I didn't need a toaster. I actually registered for one at our wedding and received it and realized we live in a teeny tiny apartment. We can't devote counter space to this right now. And we immediately returned it and then just never came across a need for a toaster until this year. Now we have one. I keep it in a cupboard when I'm not using it, and I'm grateful to have it. But where was I going with this? Anyways, so they might have a list of wish list ideas, and they might be very specific items. And honestly, that's just because the person you're buying for, they are very specific about what they're going to let take up space in their home. That might be a bummer if you really love picking out gifts, but then it just comes back to, do you want the joy of picking out a gift that, they might not use and they might end up getting rid of, or do you truly want to bless this person and get them something that they really need and are going to use for years to come? And honestly, if it's the former, if you just love picking out gifts, you want to get it for them on the chance that they're going to use it and love it, then that's up to you. But again, it is just a gamble. So it doesn't hurt to ask, is there something you've had your eye on? And be prepared that they might say nothing. The next item on the list is books. Obviously, like I said, people become minimalists for all different kinds of reasons, but it's likely that the person you're shopping for errs on the minimal side because they are a very thoughtful person. They want to move with a lot of intention. They spend a lot of time thinking, and therefore they probably also read books. Maybe ask them, find out, do you like to read? What have you been reading lately? Whatever, get that info. But if they do like to read, then they would probably like to receive a book, because again, that's the kind of item that they might get rid of it in a year after they've read it, and you don't need to worry about that because they can still read it and enjoy it. I have a few book ideas for you that the minimalist in your life might like. This is one of my favorite books. It's called Cozy Minimalist Home. It's a home decor book, but it's all about decorating with intention and not with clutter. So I love this book, and it gave me a lot of purpose in how I decorate my home. I read this book a few years ago, and I still often reference things from it, or then it informs how I decorate my home. So I definitely recommend this book, Cozy Minimalist Home. The book Essentialism, you've probably heard of it, or the minimalist in your life probably has. That is an amazing one. And the book The Lazy Genius Way. I don't have a physical copy. I actually have it on my Kindle. The minimalist in your life will probably love some of the principles in that book. So that brings me to my next point. If you know they are a reader and they don't have a Kindle, they will probably love having a Kindle. I'm obsessed with my Kindle because I can have hundreds of books on here and it takes up this much space. If I want to bring it along on a trip in the diaper bag, whatever, one little tiny item instead of, hundreds of books taking up space. So they will probably love a Kindle. Again, you could ask them first. I don't know if you want it to be a surprise, whatever, but I don't think there's anything wrong with being like, hey, this is what I want to get you. That's actually exactly what my mom did. She bought me this for my birthday a couple years ago. She said, hey, I'm thinking of getting you a Kindle. Would you like that? That is just the best way to shop for someone. Gift cards and cash. It might seem impersonal, but if someone in your life is a minimalist, it means they like to be really intentional about what they own. So they will love picking something out for themselves or saving that card for, honestly, possibly years. That's another thing about minimalists. If we have cash or a gift card, we don't feel the need to jump on a purchase right away or spend it for the sake of spending it. They might save that gift card for years and then be so grateful when they move to a new place and use that HomeSense card for some throw pillows or whatever. Next up is consumable items. So of course that could be food. Food is a fantastic gift. I don't know anyone who would complain if you bring them, especially if it's like homemade baked goods, treats, or their favorite snack from the store. I think that's what we all think of when we think consumables, but I have some other ideas for you too that are consumable items. And again, you might want to find out what they use and what they will actually enjoy. But these are things that they're consumable items, so you really can't go wrong if you get them one of these. Even if they end up not liking it and not using it, they won't feel as bad getting rid of it. You're not going to check in a few months to find out if they use it all or whatever. So here are some ideas. Beeswax candles. I have really strong feelings about scented candles and stuff. Just don't buy those for anyone if you care about them. But beeswax candles aren't going to harm them health-wise, and they create a really beautiful ambiance, and they're consumable. So they will only take up space for as long as they have them and are using them. Essential oils, natural soaps and lotions, coffee or tea. It's always so special if you know someone's a coffee drinker. Getting a really special bag of coffee beans, especially if you're on a trip or something and that's what you pick out for them, that's really special. Some kind of art supplies. Maybe they've been wanting to try calligraphy, so you get them a calligraphy pen or an embroidery kit or something like that they can complete and then decide whether they keep or get rid of. Preserves, especially if you made them, fancy cheese, wine, chocolate, of course. Next up is items that you made. So maybe if you know someone is a minimalist, don't go spending hundreds of dollars and hours of your time sewing them a quilt or something, because if you're going to put that kind of work in, you obviously want to make sure they're going to cherish it for a long time. So maybe not something on that end of the scale, but if it's just something simple, you want to make them a little wooden ornament at Christmas, something small, something simple. Even better if you're going to make an item and it's consumable. So preserves, maybe you're really into baking bread or making cheese. Please, someone gift me some cheese. I don't even eat dairy anymore, but I would if you made me cheese. My last idea is outings or trips or time together, whatever that might look like. You could just take them out for lunch, or I don't know, buy them a coffee, give them a zoo membership so they can take their kids, something like that. That's more of an experience instead of taking up space in their home with something. Or especially if it's someone you're really close with and you just want to spend time with them, they will probably love that. I can't speak for all minimalists, but I'm the type of person, I just love spending time with people who are really close to me. I would way rather spend time and do something like that than have an item in my home, unless I really handpick it and spend time thinking about it. So those are my ideas. If you have more ideas for minimal gifts, definitely let me know in the comments. I really want to hear yours because you know, we're all always looking for more ideas. Or if you are a minimalist and you really disagree with one that I said today, if you would hate to receive that, also say that in the comments, because that is very helpful information. So let me know your thoughts. If you want to stick around here, definitely hit the subscribe button and send this video to someone that you think it might bless, or the minimalist in your life. Ask them if they agree or disagree. Thanks for watching.